Hi, welcome everybody. I have today a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Dr. Bruce Levy. He is a specialist in a lot of different, I would say, natural healing methods, and he's phenomenal at doing testing called applied kinesiology. Correct, doctor? Am I saying that right? Tell us a little bit about applied kinesiology.
That's the general term. So basically what we're going to focus on today is a system that's based on anatomical and physiological principles to determine what the principal stressors are in the body, and also to determine what the underlying causes and the solutions, the remedies to enable the body to reestablish its repair and homeostasis.
Okay, so hold on. I don't want to cut you off, doctor. Basically, your body, tell me if I'm wrong, your body will react well to products that it wants and feels that it needs, and not react well to products or medicines or foods that it does not.
So everything is, in this case, is substance specific, nutrient specific. So what works for one person may not work for the next. And also one's nutritional needs and other needs, they change from time to time. They don't remain constant. It's an extremely toxic world. It's very difficult to find any individual that is not affected by all the various toxins and pathogens, which are a much more complicated situation today, and they tend to also have a symbiotic relationship and synergize and work together to further complicate the impact on the body.
So what I found, just again to put in layman's terms, because obviously I'm not speaking in the terminology, just so people can understand, I'm used to the way the doctor talks. In my specific case, for instance, I had a weakness in my pancreas. So the doctor was testing certain foods and certain supplements that we have that would go and help to strengthen my pancreas. And it works unbelievable. And what's very interesting, we had all sorts of people that he tested, whether they had Crohn's, people that had digestive issues, people that had diabetic issues, people that had other problems, and they all tested well on our bread. And that's a very interesting thing, that the bread is actually, again, going back to that, this bread heals 83 ailments when eaten with the proper salt and water. Tell us about what your experience with the bread has been with testing people.
Well, first of all, this particular bread impacts the body in a very different way than all other wheat-related and gluten and gliadin containing grains, which generally are very pro-inflammatory, whereas research that we uncovered demonstrated that Kamut has an entirely different mechanism and is in effect extremely anti-inflammatory. And we all know that inflammation is, the underlying core cause of many ailments. So in this case, everybody, and there were many patients that I have tested, everybody tested strong with the Kamut, whereas nearly everybody tested weak on other wheat-related grains.
So what we're going to do, we're going to test now some of a regular loaf of bread to our Kamut bread, just to get the idea. People will see the responses to the body, as well as we'll test some natural probiotics with omabishi, which I recommend that the people eat the omabishi with the bread. We'll test some enzymes, and we can test some waters. And that will give us the whole start of the proper healing that will go with the 83 ailments that are talked about in Baba Metzia, in the Gemara about Pas Shachari. When you eat the proper bread, the proper salts, which is the umabishis, and the proper water. So, doctor, we're going to hopefully set up.
Okay, we're going to start the demonstration now utilizing the mechanisms of applied kinesiology, utilizing muscle testing to get information from the body. Because the body is communicating to us, revealing the primary stressors in the body in different organs, and we're going to find out which ones are the priority, and we're going to find out what the underlying causes of those stressors are. So first, we're going to make sure that there's no interference, that the body is not confused, so we can get an accurate reading. Okay, so hold strong. Okay, good. So we have an intact muscle, and now we're going to see if, hold strong, if he's testable. So now he's testable. So now we're going to test different organs. We're going to stress organs, and if there's an organ or a structure in the body that's already stressed, it will be revealed. Okay, hold strong. Lift your glasses. Hold strong. So we're going through all the major organs. We're on the thyroid now. These are the lungs. And that's the liver. So already we found out now. So we're going to check to see if there are any other priorities that need to be addressed. Okay, so in this case, the liver is the priority, and that is the major stress organ. So now we want to find out what the underlying cause is. Okay, so there are typically 5 major areas of stressors that could be the underlying cause of his stressed liver. It could be toxic foods, it could be toxic chemicals, it could be heavy metals, it could be pathogens, whether it's a fungal, parasitic, viral, or bacterial origin, or it could be a scar. So within these vials, I have combinations of every known pathogen and toxin. So let's find out. So I'm going to have you hold it against your body there. Okay, so the body is able to recognize the specific and unique energetic imprint of every substance in existence. The body immediately, beyond any capacity of any computer, immediately picks it up. So, hold strong. Okay, so already we found a general origin. Now we're going to find out which one. Okay. So hold. Okay. So here's what I want. I want you to just hold on to that group there. Okay. So we have a feedback mechanism here. Hold strong. Okay. Now hold on. Hold strong. Okay. So quickly, we picked up what the underlying cause of his liver issue is, and in this case, it's a fungal mycotoxin origin. The major priority stressor organ in the rabbi, which is his liver. And we found that the underlying cause is a fungal mycotoxin infestation. And so now we're going to demonstrate a substance. In this case, we're testing oregano because we know oregano is effective at combating fungal mycotoxin infections. So let me show you. So we're going to test the liver again. It blows out. So we're going to have him hold that. And now it's like a rock because his body recognizes that, understanding that that will help to nullify that weakness and that stressor, and to help bring the body back to normalcy. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate how the body reacts, the body's immune system reacts to specific foods and substances, and we're using these advanced devices that give us a very high degree of accuracy. So I'll give a demonstration first. We're going to use typical table sugar, but even before we do that, let's get a strong muscle. Hold, good. So we're going to place it on this device and hold strong, and it just blows out because sugar is a stressor and is considered a toxin, so it weakens his body. And so sugar would typically impact nearly everybody the same way. So now we're going to show certain specific foods that may compromise him, but not necessarily somebody else. So now we're going to test this incredible bread here. Oh, like a rock. And again, this is the Kamut that we had previously discussed. Now we're going to put a refined wheat bread and see what happens. Strong. So his body recognizes that this is compromising his immune system.
So, I'm sure everyone has been absolutely mesmerized and amazed at Dr. Levy's demonstration of applied kinesiology and how the food affects your entire body, including your organs, and how this bread, everyone tests on. Is that correct, Dr. Levy? Has anybody come forward and not tested on this bread?
Actually, it's amazing that out of the many people I tested, not one tested negatively for this bread, as opposed to all the wheat-based commercial breads, which just about everybody I've tested tested wheat and demonstrated how it compromised their immune system.
So that is the power of the Torah and the Rambam, and how to make proper bread. I think you mentioned to me you didn't eat bread for 14 years until you ate this bread. Is that correct?
I just eliminated it from my diet completely because it was causing me difficulties and various reactions. This bread has the total opposite effect.
So I want to thank you for coming, and thank everybody. Thank you, Batya, for coming, and thank the rabbi for coming. And we're going to do some more demonstration with kinesiology, and more up to come. There's also connections with the healing that we have to also do a video on, about how kinesiology can be applied to healing and healing as well. Thank you very much. Yes, Dr.
So we demonstrated where the problems are in the body, what the underlying causes of those problems are, and we would find the solutions and the right remedies and the right diet and put together a program for each individual, which is custom made for each person.
And Dr. Levy will be supplying his contact information for anybody who needs to be tested and needs to be looked at in conjunction with what we do, and we look forward to always coming by, and he's coming by every week. He's always here. On Friday, anybody wants to see him usually pops in, they can introduce themselves, and then we can take it from there. Thank you very much.